Hello and welcome to Voices of Parenting podcast. I am so glad you're here. My name is Mussi Diskin. I am an advanced nurtured heart approach trainer. I am a parenting coach. I am also an inner wealth coach, which means that I help people rediscover and connect to the people that they truly were all along, but may have gotten forgotten along the way. So to find out more about me and what I offer, you can check out mussidiskin.com, contact me through there, respond to this podcast, find me on social media. I would love to connect and I would love to hear your feedback. To sponsor a Voices of Parenting podcast episode, please reach out to energizinghearts@gmail.com. Thank you for being here, and I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Today, I have Yocheved and Rottenberg here with me, all the way from Israel. One of the incredible ladies that joined my live CTI in New York, and the dedication and courage and a little bit of craziness that she has to come all the way from Israel to the CTI just blew us all away. She's a real hero in my books, and I'm excited for you all to meet her. Yocheved, if you could give a little introduction to the audience, tell us who you are, what you do professionally, at home. Tell us a little bit about who you are, and then I'd love to ask you some questions about yourself so that the audience can get to know you better.
Thank you. So my father passed away, and I gave a free class in his memory. And I was describing what he was like. He was a teacher for little boys, and he was something amazing. And after the class, I received an email from someone, and she said, it sounds just like the nurtured heart approach. And I said, what is that? And she started describing it, and I said, hey, I like that. That sounds good. And I Googled and I took a few classes in NHI, and slowly but surely I was hooked. At that point, I also was struggling very, very much with one of my children. So I was desperate for anything that will make things better. And I started learning. I also joined Mussi's coaching. I joined the coaching group then, maybe a little later. Oh, no, I took also a few courses. I also joined the summit and a few things I took. What I started doing was the nurtured heart approach on myself. Meaning I couldn't manage with my child. It was just too overwhelming for me. And I saw that I needed the help. And I saw that more than my child was falling apart, it was me that was falling apart. And if I'm falling apart every time I have an interaction with him, it's no doubt that he's going to fall apart. And that was really where I focused. And I spent hours and hours and hours just again and again and again, all the 3 stands again and again. And I have literally notebooks this thick full of Sarah's, just Sarah's, again and again and again and again. And it changed me. It really did. Just literally, I could say that doing a Sarah again and again and again is literally life-changing. And I teach it to all my ladies, like they all know it, like automatically. They're like, anything's going on, I'm like, Sarah. And they all know it, and they all do it. And I think it's life-changing. And I would love, I'm still not where I want to be. I'm desperate to be like my dream. If you'll open any notebook, you'll find me writing how I'm dreaming of being this NHA mom, and just like, that's my dream. And I'm not there yet, but I'm definitely, I live it every minute. It's already a few years. I'm thinking now it's like 3-4 years, literally on my mind every single day. And I thank everyone from the whole nurtured heart approach for blessing me with this.
Thank you for sharing all that, Yocheved. I feel like so many of us can relate. I definitely can relate to that experience of the struggle of parenting not being about what a parent should do or how parenting should or could look, but watching myself, experiencing myself not be able to be those things in the moments with my kids because of the overwhelm and the trigger and the emotional stuff and dysregulation in the moment that just would take over me and still does sometimes, and makes me do and say and be things that I'm not proud of and don't want to be and my kids don't deserve. And like I don't know, for me, the pain that comes with that is so deep because it's so much. It's so clear. It's always been so clear and important to me what I want for my kids and what I want for my home. And it's such a deep, like, I've always been so dedicated to creating a different reality for them, like that dream childhood for them. And watching myself be the reason why it's not happening it's painful enough when there's other reasons, but when it's me who's the monster, when it's me who's the one who's doing it, it's so hard. And the fact that you were able to reframe your own process, your own way of looking at yourself, using Nurtured Heart on yourself, the way you're describing. And I'd love to hear in a minute from you a little bit more about that process of walking from that space that you were in to this more strong, empowered place. But the fact that you're able to do that from that, when you're the problem, right? Like, I'm the problem, I'm the enemy, and to be able to still nurture yourself and strengthen yourself is courageous, is such a testament to your awareness and your clarity on what really is happening and what really needs to happen. And ultimately it's self-love and a gift to yourself, but I think that it's driven by a motivation to make change for our kids, ultimately that pushes us to really do that. But so many times it's so easy to fall instead into a self-blame, shame, hating myself cycle. And so it sounds like that is you took a very different direction and a very different approach.
Yes, and I think that's Nurtured Heart's benefit. I remember thinking, they always say Nurtured Heart, one of the benefits of Nurtured Heart is that it doesn't max out. No matter how problematic a child, and I've seen that in life. That's 100% true. Like, all these parenting systems work for certain kids and other kids totally not. But I think that what Nurtured Heart's benefit is, it doesn't max out on the parents. And that's what's amazing. Because so many parenting methods, like, they have all these things, but if someone had a troubled childhood, or someone has a deficit in any area, or someone's energy level is low, for whatever stress circumstance they're under, it doesn't work. It's not realistic. And Nurtured Heart is realistic. Nurtured Heart, not that I'll be perfect, and I won't. I remember I have this scene in my head, and I don't think it was the most big scene, but I think that's when it hit me, that I was trying to get my child out, and he didn't want to leave, and he was screaming. And I remember at that minute, I was filled with so much hatred towards him because he was making me into the person that I hated being. And I was so angry at him. I'm like, how could you make me such a horrible person? And I was hating myself. I was losing it completely. I was a mess. And that whole thing is just a memory. That's a total memory. I cannot even connect. Like, I have this memory in my head, but I'll never be in that place of being the person that I hated. Never, ever. Because no matter what, I always get back to the space of appreciating my greatness, his greatness. Knowing that he's great, knowing that he will use his power and his intensity for good things, knowing that everything is good, knowing that we can find the good in this challenge, and that I could breathe in the intensity and make something amazing out of it. I can't get back to that desperate place anymore, no matter what. And even with all my failures, and even with all my mistakes, and also other children, it's everything in my life, no question about it. I always tell my ladies, I'm an IFS therapist. That's my official. I mean, my main modality is therapeutic writing. I'm an IFS therapist. I do MDR. I do everything. I say that's all my professional tools. My life understanding, besides for Judaism, is Nurtured Heart. Like, that is the way I want to look at the world, and that is the way I do look at the world. I really do. And that's the way I look at myself and interactions between people. I literally think, and I know all the modalities, not all, but I know many modalities. I find Nurtured Heart such a healthy, empowering modality. Like, just like, yes, I do need IFS sometimes when there's deep traumas, and I do. I do IFS when there's deep traumas. But in general, as an outlook in life, as a way of dealing with the world, NHA is hand down. It's just so healthy and empowering and not complicated. Like, a person can't spend the whole day doing deep therapy and burying under, like burying under, what's it called again, uncovering buried memories. And that's not a healthy way to live. It's when we have a need, yes, we have to do it. But Nurtured Heart is a healthy, happy way to live.
Wow.
So
I love
that's
that.
me.
I love looking at it that way. It's not a solution to a problem. It's actually the way of life.
I
Where
really think so. I
it's not
really
a
do.
therapy, it's not a healing. It is.
Right.
It is it.
It's a healthy way to live. It's just a whole outlook that transforms everything in a good way without it being heavy and overwhelming.
Okay, so this is too precious time for me to not get practical. I really want to get practical with you because this is gold. So take me back to whether it's that moment that you shared with us or just that time, right? Where it was so where you were being the person you hated. I mean, the way you said that, so relatable. If you could like walk me through and imagine I'm someone who doesn't know the three stands at all, you know, like
Okay.
what is this that you're saying that you did that you can go from a place of hating your kid for bringing out the person you hate, being such a mess, and walking to a place that you're describing of knowing his greatness, knowing your greatness, feeling that there's something right. Like, what is that process?
So, okay, so the three stands, which I wasn't doing the three stands on him necessarily in crisis time, I do the three stands on me. Um, so the first thing, the three stands is absolutely no. I will not energize negativity. And what I'm doing is I am not going to go into this whirlwind. Like, this whole whirlwind of blame and hatred and overwhelm and what's going to be with this kid. Is he ever going to grow up with a normal kid? And he's ruining my life and he's ruining the house and we're all dysfunctional and all these messages that are in my head. I'm just not going there. Pause. Like this. No, I'm not going there. And then I'll take a deep breath. And then I'll say, what is right about the situation? And when it's really, really desperate and I can't find anything right, what's right is that I am trying to do Nurtured Heart despite craziness. That is very right. That I am trying to be a good mother no matter what. And I am putting in the effort I need no matter what. So that's always right. Because the fact that I'm doing it means that I'm trying. So it's automatic. Many times I could find other things that I write also. But Howard's thing of no matter what, there could be something worse. Like, what worse could be happening is also helpful when it's desperate. Like, yeah, people could be in the hospital, like, from things being thrown around or whatever. There could be worse things. But I really just focus automatically on the fact, look at me, look at my determination. It's been so hard and I've been working so long in this and I'm still not the mother I dream of being. And yet I'm not giving up. I haven't given up day in, literally day in, day out. Like, I'm not off. I don't go offline. So that's something to energize. That's something that can give me a lot of energy and that I can focus on and I can appreciate about myself in that minute. And then I'll take a deep breath and I'll say, knowing that I'm a mother who tries. I'm just saying this now, but that's what happens without these words. What is my clarity in this minute? What do I need to do now? What can I do to help the situation? And even just me saying it now, I feel calmer. Like, the clarity comes when we're in hysteria. Automatically, our reactions are hysterical and historical and based on all these past histories and traumas and messages that we're telling ourselves. When we are present and when we are feeling good with ourselves, even just for that second, our brain turns back on. And we go out of this fight and flight mode and out of this hysteria, and then we can think clearly. And which is the nurtured heart approach in the 3 stands is absolutely no to negativity, absolutely yes to positivity, and absolutely clear. What is my clarity now? And I always tell my ladies, the way I look at it, I always say 1 + 2 = 3. It's not a thing. This is my thing. 1 + 2 = 3. The first stand plus the second stand automatically leads you to the third stand. If you're not energizing negativity and you are energizing positivity, you're finding something that will give you energy, and you'll automatically get to clarity because, oh, okay, then I'm looking at it from a place of believing in myself, believing in the people around me, believing that there's hope. Then I'll make positive choices. So that's my...
Can you just give me an example of like in that moment what a need might be? Like what would your clarity be? What feels like something?
What would my clarity be? Maybe that I should start over in another 2 minutes, like go away and take a break and start over in another 2 minutes. Maybe the clarity would be that I should go into my room to calm down for a minute and then come back out. Maybe the clarity would be that I should do something positive to twist everything around, like just somehow, like, okay, who wants a treat now? Something to just turn around the whole hysterical situation. I'm just thinking off the top of my head, something I will reach clarity to diffuse the tension, to diffuse the the buildup.
Yeah.
And to work from a place of maturity and clarity rather than stress and desperation. I think the word desperation is a very good word because that's what happens to me. I get very, very desperate. Like, how am I supposed to manage my life? Like, and this whole desperate comes out. And then once I'm a nurtured heart, I'm not desperate. No matter what, I'm not desperate.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I relate so much. I have so many things I could say. I actually remember I've said this on the podcast for sure, but I remember one time, my clarity, the only thing I could do in that moment was physically spin around. I stood in one spot and spun around in circles, and my family all froze and stared at me. But that was the reset we needed. I didn't even know what would happen next. I literally had so much kinetic energy in my body, was refusing to let it out on anyone else, had no where to go, nothing to do, and I just started spinning. And that was the reset. Wow, gorgeous. I want to take the time the next few minutes as we are getting close to closing, which is crazy, to ask you about the second tool you brought in, the Sarah. For our audience that hasn't heard of that or needs a brush up, like what is that and what does that look like? Maybe even from the same moment, if you could walk us through what that looks like.
So I think Sarah is one of the best nurtured heart tools there are, or maybe the best, honestly. And I teach it to my ladies like literally all the time, and I use it for myself the entire time. And it's become so natural. Like one time I was speaking to a friend and I was totally stressed. She's like, "You sound like you need a Sarah." I wrote like a page long in a second. It just comes out of me. So Sarah is spelled S-A-R-A-H. Okay. It stands for, the first thing is, what do you see, do, feel, hear? Honestly, with permission from Howard, please excuse me, I changed it to what is the situation. I changed the S because people get so confused. What do I feel? What do I taste? Like what's going on? And really, to me, in my writing, in my therapeutic writing, we always start with a warm-up. And the warm-up is just what's going on for me right now. So that's what the S in the Sarah is. What is the truth of the moment for me right now? And there, I'm not trying to be positive. I literally just let out everything that's going on. The truth that's going on with the situation around me, with my feelings inside me, with whatever's going on. The S of the Sarah is the S stands for what do I see, but to me it's what is the situation, and it's the internal and the external situation. That means what am I feeling? And there I just like, I let it out. That's when I'm letting out my stress. Maybe S can be for the stress. What is going on right now? Like, just let it all out. And that's already therapeutic. The A is, what do I appreciate about myself in this situation? Now, here's where I'm starting to think, and this is the twist where we're training our brain to see negativity, to notice negativity and turn it around and appreciate. There has to be something in here that I can appreciate. And that's where we think. Honestly, now it doesn't take me, I don't have to think, it happens automatically. But yes, that is where at the beginning, like so many people, when I teach it to them, they're like, what do you mean what I appreciate? This is horrible. I'm like, no, there is something to appreciate. And I give them suggestions, and there's always suggestions. For example, the fact that I'm still trying to be a good mother, no matter what. Even if I feel like a failure many times, and even if I feel like I'm not in the place I want to be, and even if I feel so frustrated that I know so much and I'm not doing everything I want to do, I still appreciate myself. I'm still trying. I don't stop trying. That's a lot to appreciate. So A is appreciate about myself in this situation. And of course, we could do the same on the other person, is what do we appreciate about them in this situation? Well, I'm saying for myself, appreciate. The R is, what does that reveal to me? So if I appreciate all these things about myself, what positive traits does that teach me that I have about myself? Well, so if I'm appreciating that I'm still trying to be a good mother, then that reveals to me that I'm determined, and that reveals to me that I love my children, and that reveals to me that I'm a devoted mother, and that reveals to me that I have goals and I'm a person who lives with values, and that reveals to me many, many positive qualities. Just the fact that I appreciate all these things about myself, inherently that reveals that I have all these qualities. And then the A is I am, and then we write out, we say, I am a devoted mother. And there is nothing more powerful than transforming from I hate myself to I am a devoted mother. And it really happens in a few minutes, or even a minute. A minute. I turn around from this is horrible to I am a devoted mother. I am a determined mother. I am a loving mother, because that's a fact of the reality. If I wouldn't be a loving mother, I wouldn't be trying, right? So then I write all the I ams, and then I hold my hand on my heart and I breathe in that knowledge into all the stress and all the tension in my body. I am a loving mother. And I'm a different person. It is. It's just amazing. And I literally do it in a minute, literally. And we do it in all situations, not only about parenting. And this is what I use. I use the nurtured heart about everything. Women in struggling marriages who are in such difficult situations, when they can center themselves with nurtured heart, it changes the marriage. Literally, I've had a lady came over to me with a box of chocolate. She's like, you don't know how my whole life is transformed. And she had a very critical husband, and she used the nurtured heart, and it's all transformed on herself. Just from doing the nurtured heart with herself. It's been changing people in so many different ways, in so many different situations. Nurtured heart is a healthy, nourishing way of interacting with people, for yourself and for those around you. So yeah, I find it's really miraculous. It really is. The way we can transform in such a short time into such a great place.
I am humbled by you, Yocheved. I wish that, we need to do more recordings. This is you. I feel like a part of me feels like I'm listening to myself talk. But you can, wow, okay. How can people find more from you, with you, about you? Where can people go if they'd like to reach out, if they'd like to use your services, or what else do you have out there for them?
So I have a website called writeyouwayhome.com. My email is Yocheved, YOCH, at writeyouwayhome.com, or info@writeyouwayhome.com.
It's right, like writing. So write your way back. Yes.
Right, exactly. Because my main expertise is therapeutic writing, which Sarah matches so well. That's why we do it all the time. And I give classes. I do therapy sessions. I do nurtured heart classes. I have put out a book. There are a few books on Amazon, Write Your Way Home, and another book. There are other Jewish books. I'm putting out a card deck, also from Write Your Way Home with writing prompts and pictures. I have numerous products to help a person connect to themselves. And I really, really am passionate to, that the world should know the power. And I really feel it's a gift from God. I do. I think it's something that He sent down to help us access the greatness that we inherently have. And on some level, every person knows they have it. Like, even if they're feeling really horrible, there's a little part of them that's saying, no, I don't deserve this. No, this is not right. No, this is not fair, even in the worst situations. And this is a way of accessing that part of themselves that they yearn to access. So,
yeah, that was never broken in the first place.
right.
Oh my goodness. Wow. I think all of our audience is with me in thanking you for taking the time to come on so early in the morning in Israel to record with me. And I look forward to recording again. Go find her, you guys. She's a treasure. Hey, wait, don't go yet. Take a minute to find the beautiful quality that you have, that you appreciate about yourself.